What this hotel just banned has Muslims ready to riot around the world right now. Now, this is a smart move in today's world. The Malaysian Association of Hotels, or also known as MA, has now defended its members' policy of prohibiting their frontline staff from wearing the hijab, or headscarf, while at work, saying it is international practice and not meant to be discriminatory. A spokesperson for the hotels, Chi Sui Hee, said the hotels, especially the international hotels in Malaysia, which has a huge Muslim population, followed a standard operating procedure and policy on the matter, and that it shouldn't be called discrimination because these hotel companies have international policies to follow. He later added that it's not about Islamophobia because the practice of not letting women wear headscarves has been done from the beginning. But of course, the left is going crazy over this policy. Via FMT News. I regret that Muslim women in Malaysia still face religious discrimination when it comes to the wearing of the hijab, which is a religious requirement that many of them adhere to. This is according to the report by the Malaysian Employers Federation, MEF. MEF Executive Director Shamsuddin Bardan said he had received complaints from hotel employees regarding the banning of headscarves or hijab at the workplace. This is something we should not tolerate, especially when there's no plausible explanation as to why the hijab is a hindrance to the nature of their work. This is even more so in a country which holds Islam as the religion of the Federation. Simply being in the private sector does not exclude the party from respecting one's right to practice their religious requirements. This argument also applies to our national airlines, Malaysia Airlines, where there are also calls from flight attendants to be allowed to observe their religious requirement in wearing hijab. The fact that flight attendants with hijab had been serving the pilgrims during the Hajj season in flights to Mecca is testimony that wearing the hijab does not determine inefficiency. With regard to hospitality industries, it is not easy for these women to actually lodge reports, especially when allowances, salaries and placement for internship are involved. If these are students, we know that internship is part of the requirement in their last semester before they can graduate. Our Muslim students are trapped in a systematic discriminatory process along the line. I urge Muslim ladies who face such discrimination to come forward and report it to us at wafik3108@gmail.com. We promise to maintain their confidentiality. Now here is the thing. No one is forced to work at this establishment. Just like an individual can pick and choose where they will work, a business should have the right to dictate what and what should not be worn by their employees, especially those who have direct access to the public. I am sure this rule must have been in the contract every employee needs to sign in order to get employment from this company. The Malaysian Insight reports. WAFIC President's Associate Professor Dr. Rafida Hanum Mokhtar said the NGO has received 4 direct complaints while her personal Facebook page has received dozens of grouses. Since we have many universities producing graduates in hospitality and tourism, it's kind of a setback to have international hotels having such standards. It's discriminatory against our citizens in terms of employment and training. I'll have to work with the respective ministries, such as higher education and tourism, on this matter, she told the Malaysian Insight in a WhatsApp message. Sukri, a hotel banquet manager in Kuala Lumpur, said the hijab policy had been in place for at least 10 years. At a 5-star hotel in KL where I once worked, Muslim female staff were not allowed to wear the headscarf so as to attract customers. If a woman wanted a job as a waitress, she could not wear a scarf. It was considered unfashionable and unattractive, said Sukri, who did not want to give his full name. As he was in charge of hiring temporary workers for big functions, he had to tell recruits that they could not wear the headscarf. He said the policy consistently applied to those working in food and beverage, such as servers, and in frontline positions, such as receptionists. Sukri left the 5-star hotel 3 years ago and found another job at a hotel that did not have such a policy. I moved to another hotel because I did not want to be a part of that kind of practice, the 39-year-old said. Fairisha, who has worked for a year as a receptionist at a 5-star hotel in Putrajaya, said she removed her headscarf whenever she went to work. To be a receptionist at this hotel, You can't wear the tudung. They say that this is in line with the image of an international hotel. So after I finish work, I will put it back on. I just don't wear it at work. What else can I do? It is not easy to find a job now, said the 29-year-old. November 11, 2017. Let us be honest with ourselves. This isn't about a headscarf. This rule has been applied for years. I bet if any of us worked there we wouldn't be allowed to wear a New York Yankees hat. All this is the left and how they try to push Islam on the rest of the freedom-loving world. And if anyone dares to say no, they are branded as racists, bigots and Islamophobes, which is a term that doesn't even exist. It's all part of the globalization movement and some of us just aren't having anything to do with it. This is a great example as to why we elected President Donald Trump. We are sick and tired of people pushing their own beliefs and culture on us, while if we do the same we are branded as criminals.